Hey everybody, this is Skeet.
Smosh and Mikey.
Rock and Roll Roundtable.
Yeah, presented by our wonderful friends at Moshman Media.
This week, 20th Century Def Leppard album ranking.
Yeah. So Def Leppard for me was definitely 80s, 90s, but I really did not hear much of them after 2000, if I'm being honest. I heard maybe a song on the radio, a song here and there, but I never really followed through with keeping up with them so much. And we were talking about Def Leppard, and we said, you know what? Up until about 2000, we were both pretty big Def Leppard guys, and we listened to it. And I don't really recall a whole lot after 2000. I know they've had several albums, but so I said, why don't we just do the 20th century Def Leppard? So you're talking 80 to 2000. So
Yep.
7 albums in that
Well,
era.
80 to 99, technically.
Okay.
If you go by when they're out. So 99 was the last time they had an album. In the 20th century.
Yes. So that's what we decided to do. We're going to rank these. We're not going to rank them as the Moshmen. Skeeter's going to have his list. I'm going to have mine. We'll compare them as we go down the line. Rank them 7 to 1. And if we need to debate a little bit amongst ourselves, we will, but we won't go crazy on it. And just our opinion solely based on our listening pleasure. It's not how good or bad it is. And I'm ready to go. You can head out with number 7 if you'd like.
All right. My number 7. On Through the Night.
Interesting.
So the first album is the dead last album for me.
Wow. I wouldn't have expected that. I really wouldn't have expected it.
No, because for me, the high points were Rock Brigade, Hello America, and Wasted. Those were for me, that was the strongest 3 songs on the album. They were they were rock, but it just felt like it was kind of all over the place for me.
Okay. Makes sense. I mean, yeah, I'm okay.
So it's kind of like they were testing the waters on what they were wanting to do. So things hadn't really gelled yet. So you kind of had stuff that kind of sounded this way or sounded that way, and it wasn't really cohesive as an album for me.
Okay.
What's your take on your number 7?
Well, my number 7 is Slang. I did not like this album much.
Okay.
Title song was like okay. I mean, it wasn't no big deal. There was only a couple I really liked. Gift of Flesh, I didn't mind. I think it's Pearl of Euphoria. I like those songs. But the rest was like starting to go to where they're at, I believe, now, which is mooey, gushy, gooey, not very heavy at all, nothing exciting, just mundane existence. So, yeah, Slang was just not. It might be one of the worst ones. If I ranked them all, it might be towards the dead ass last. Just was not my. I was looking forward to that too when it came out. Didn't happen in a good way. So that's it.
So we go to my number 6 would be Euphoria. Okay. I had not given this one a listen probably in years from the initial when I first heard it.
All right.
Okay, so Def Leppard has always had they've had some muscle, so to speak, with me for years. Okay, so whenever they would put something out, I would usually always at least try to listen to it or borrow it from somebody who had the CD, and give it a chance and listen to it, or whatever, or pick one up on my own. So they always had that muscle power. Okay,
Right.
it's worth checking out a Def Leppard album. After the 20th century was over, not so much, but
No.
early days, you kind of said, okay, I want to hear what they got. So
Yeah,
for me,
absolutely.
this one, it's got the 6 because it just it was kind of so. I mean, Euphoria had All Night was decent, but it wasn't great. Paper Sun was kind of cool,
Yeah.
and the instrumental Disintegrate really stood
Yeah.
out for me on that album. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, Promises, Back in Your Face. It was kind of cheesy. Demolition Man was eh, but it was a good start to the album. So that's why it's number 6 for me. So you could kind of tell they were winding down out of that strength they had in the fucking 80s
True. True. I
to
agree.
go into the new one, the new century. So
Yeah. Well, my number 6 was also Euphoria, which is good. For basically the same reasons. I liked Demolition Man as an album starter, and I liked Paper Sun. I thought it was great. I actually think that's one of the better songs they did on the last couple albums I had listened to. Disintegrate was cool too. I had it actually written down as one of mine. I mean it was we're pretty equal on this album. Definitely was leaning out of their stardom and starting to go into whatever they became a little bit later. But yeah, it's just not solid enough for me to. It definitely is better than Slang, but not by a lot. Not by a lot on them. But that's where it is, number 6.
okay, so let's go to my number 5, which was Adrenalize. So everybody, Let's Get Rocked was cheesy,
Yeah.
but it I heard it enough that it was like it grew on me. It's like, yeah, it's all right. The video was fucking shit. It was shit. The video for that was shit. I'm 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 not gonna lie. From an MTV generation that we were, I saw that and went, "What the fuck is this?" With that goofy fucking computerized kid, right? I'm like,
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
the high points on that. I mean, "Make Love Like a Man" was stupid. It was stupid lyrics.
Yeah. It's catchy though. It
It
was
was
catchy.
catchy. It was catchy. White Lightning was a lot better. It was a lot better song than "Make Love Like a Man." Even
Yeah.
though it wasn't real hard, but it just, I think the way they did their vocals and everything in it was made that song pretty fucking cool. So that was a standout. Stand Up, Kick Love and Emotion was,
Yeah.
it was a good ballady type song. It was
Yeah.
solid. So it wasn't bad. Have you ever needed someone so bad? That was, again, it was like Def Leppard hitting the ballad stuff,
Going for hits, man.
going for hits. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And uh, you know, eh, it was a meh album, and unfortunately, it was. Wasn't that the last one that Steve Clark did
It might have been.
before he
I,
passed?
I, yeah, I want to. I'd have to look it up to be sure, but I'm pretty sure it's that time frame somewhere.
So either he
Uh,
had passed before they did this album, or he had done this album and then passed.
yeah, maybe that sounds about right. Yeah,
So yeah, that's where Adrenalize is. Number 5.
yeah. Number 5 for me is, and this is kind of weird, but it's Adrenalize. Yeah, and we did not compare notes. Just
No,
so y'all know,
no,
this
we
is
did
like
not.
randomly ranking stuff on our own. I was a big fan of Tear It Down
Okay, okay,
on that album, but I did like Let's Get Rocked. It was stupid, cheesy. The video was terrible. Yes, I liked that song quite a bit, and it was kind of what drew me to listen to it in the first place. And it
okay,
came out with that let's get, that whole thing when it started. I actually do like Make Love Like a Man. I do like the song. It's just so catchy, but it's like it's definitely more into their I don't know, electronic sounding. It was more of an
okay. Yeah,
electronic sounding music for me, but I like this album a pretty good amount when it came out, but I got quick tired of it. I think Let's Get Rock got played way too much, of course. Make Love Like a Man was like dance floor material for sure, but it wasn't like that. All the sappy ballads I could care less. But Tear It Down, I thought was like finally at the end of the album. I'm thinking, all right, finally some old school Def Leppard sound and stuff with Tear It Down. So that's my favorite song on that album. But it's the middle of the pack. It's a 5 on the of
yeah.
the 7 for me too. So far, we're pretty close.
Okay. That's kind of funny that we
Yeah,
those albums
yeah.
rank the same for both of us.
Be interesting to see the top couple. That'll be
Nah, I don't think so. I think it'll. I think it. We
okay.
might actually kind of sync up on a couple of these.
We
Now,
might, we might.
uh, the number 4 for me was Slang. That was
Wow,
my number
that's
4.
whew.
Now, hear me out. Uh, probably the big 3 songs out of Slang was Truth. That was kind of a cool way to start it. Uh, Slang. That's a catchy fucking song, and it kind of tipped back to earlier Def Leppard with a newer sound. And then Pearl of Euphoria was actually I enjoyed that fucking song. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite one on the album. But I didn't care for Slang itself.
Uh,
And Truth was all right. I mean, it's just in my
so
mind, that's why it's not very good for me.
so when this one came out, it was their attempt at the grunge era, like a lot of the fucking 80s bands did, where they kind of changed their
Yeah,
fucking sound up, trying to stay relevant. And we listened to this one a lot at this house because at the time I had a roommate that was a huge fucking Def Leppard fan.
yeah,
It
that's
was the
true.
new
Maybe.
album for him. He played the fuck out of it. Some of the songs grew on me. So we saw him in concert, and seeing that concert was the first time that he played the drums and played on a fucking acoustic set and not the fucking electronic set live.
Oh, okay, that'd be kind of cool.
So that's why that propelled. So between the having to listen to this album nonstop for fucking months and going to the concert and seeing Rick Allen actually on an acoustic set and doing Switch 625 for the first time live for me, I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah. I
was
mean,
fucking cool as fuck.
get an album association maybe picked it
Yes,
up for you.
yes.
Yeah, I just wasn't. I maybe I didn't listen to it enough. Maybe you listened to it the required amount to be slang fan. I
And
only heard it a few
again,
times.
there was like "Move with Me Slowly" was a kind of all right ballad. It was cool. Uh, "Work It Out" was not really a ballad, but it was kind of a "All I Want Is Everything." That was kind of a ballad. So they had their
Yeah,
ballads on this with the
too
newer
much.
sound. Uh, it for me, it was kind of cool for them to step outside of what they'd always done. In this case, now some of the other '80s guys that tried this shit, it a lot of them it didn't work. It was like, oh
Right.
god, that's ass.
Yeah, it's like Kiss trying to be heavy duty in the 90s, 2000s.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that was.
same
I
thing.
mean, I liked some of the Kiss material from that album that they did that on, but it sounded too
Yeah.
much like Alice in Chains. I'm like,
Well, yeah, that
just
album, you're
cover
talking about
Alice in
different.
Chains if that's
Yeah.
what you're gonna fucking do.
That was that Rare album we talked about. And then I
Yes,
thought, like
yes,
Psycho Circus, I thought they tried to get a little angrier than they're really known for, too.
yes, yeah.
No.
So but you see what I'm saying? For me, this Def Leppard trying a different sound actually fucking worked for them. So
Okay.
this is probably one of the better. We tried to do a different sound to fit in, and it kind of fucking worked. It was acceptable. How about that? It was
Okay.
acceptable.
Yeah, it didn't work. It just didn't work for me. I mean, maybe that's, like I said, I didn't listen to it a bunch, heard it a handful of times, and I didn't get it. I didn't want to get it really. The ballads really kill me too, and it just gets too much.
So, what was your number four?
And this is where we just swapped on these two because my number four is On Through the Night.
Oh, nice.
And what I loved about On Through the Night was just the raw sound. It wasn't over polished. They were young kids, but Wasted was one of my favorite songs on that one. Definitely Rock Brigade. I like Satellite. I liked Satellite on that album.
I
And it's like, but I really liked Wasted more. That guitar riff was I thought was cool, but they sounded like a bunch of kids in a garage.
okay,
And
I'll give you
I
that.
that appealed to me when I heard it because I'm like, okay, these guys are young. They're not not heavy, but at the time that was pretty heavy back in the late 70s, early 80s, whatever. So and what Rock Brigade was like the anthem song, had the backup vocals and easy to sing along to. And I didn't really hear that, to tell you the truth. I think I heard this album after the fact. And I'd
Okay.
heard somebody saying Rock Brigade, and I was like, "What song's that on? What album's that on?" They said, "Oh, it's on All Through the Night." I'm like, "Okay," because I had just never really listened to it back then. It didn't get all the attention that the other albums got. So yeah, but yeah, that's my number four. I think the rawness, the riffs on like Rock Brigade, Wasted, stuff like that was pretty good for the times and very easy to sing along to and move your head to. And yeah, I'm more of that type of person than I am. Have you ever wanted someone so bad and all that stuff? That era of Def Leppard, I don't get so much.
I
That's
got you.
number four. On Through
Okay.
the Night.
So now we're going to the top three.
Yeah, we'll see how close we are here on the top three.
All right. My number three is Hysteria.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, Pretty much this was another album that I heard non fucking stop when it came out. So we had listened to this album 6 or 8 months before Pour Some Sugar on Me came out.
Yeah.
And actually fucking blew this fucking album up for all the normies. I'd already listened to this album, not like I said, nonstop, and knew all these songs. I like the whole album.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, Animal was cool. Pour Some Sugar on Me was cool. Don't Shoot Shotgun was cool. I actually liked Hysteria, the title track, and it's obvious that we must have liked the song because
Yeah.
mashed
You cover
taters
it.
and mashed
Cover it.
taters. That's all I'm
Sorry.
gonna say.
Yeah.
And it was really polished. It took them 4 years to do the fucking album, so they really put the time in with Mutt Lang as their producer. It's a slick, polished fucking album, and I do like all the songs. I mean, there's others that I like more than some,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
overall, it's a solid fucking album from start to finish. But
cool.
it hit number 3 for a fucking reason.
All right.
Okay, and
Yeah.
that's my number 3. So,
All right. We'll
Mikey.
go to my number 3. Is not Hysteria. So we're not looked
Okay.
up on all three.
Okay.
It is Pyromania is
Okay.
number 3. Yeah. Pyromania, I mean, you can throw a dart and hit any of the songs. Most of them are great. I like Billy's Got a Gun or whatever that was. Die Hard the Hunter. Die Hard the Hunter is underrated. I really like that song. Of course, you had Photograph and Stage Fright. All the good, I mean, classic. And it was like their big breaking moment. That album was like the biggest thing they had done at the time. And it wasn't the fact that it got overplayed or anything like that for me. It's just there's two albums that beat it. And that's as simple as that for me. It was like there's two albums I enjoyed more than Pyromania. And Pyromania successfully, oh yeah, top of the charts. And like I said, there's a couple gems on there, like Die Hard the Hunter, Stage Fright. Those songs are not even hits, but they were a couple of my favorites. But yeah, it's just pure. They are worthy of any of the spots, but they're number 3 because the other two are just better.
Okay.
That's the only reason why. I can't
Okay.
downgrade the album at all. It's just the other two are better for me. So
Okay. So we're down to number 2. The number 2
yeah,
spot for me is High and Dry.
okay,
Uh, Listen to this album. It was they fucking gelled. They found they found their spot in the rock world with this one. It I Let It Go was good. Another Hit and Run was good. High and Dry, of course.
yeah,
Bringing on the Heartbreak into Switch 625 is peak.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
peak. Uh, the rest of the songs, On Through the Night, which should have been On Through the Night,
Well, yeah.
but it was a fucking it's a good song. Mirror Mirror was kind of eh. So
Oh, I love
that's
that.
why
Yeah.
it took the number 2 spot for me. No, no, no was okay. I guess on the actual album, the No, 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 where he ran it out, where he said no at the end, it just keeps going until it fades out.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I
So
remember
I
that.
think he said it like
No, no,
yes,
no,
I,
no, no.
like
Yeah,
56 times or some shit like
uh,
that. I think Matt counted it
I
one
wouldn't
time, and
doubt
I'm
it.
like, who gives a fuck, dude? It's the song's over.
Yeah, it's
So
overkill, but yeah,
yeah, but it's a solid fucking rock album from Def Leppard, and I think it's set up for the follow up. So
okay.
they were right in the groove, getting to where okay, this is where we're gonna go, and that's why it's number 2 for me. What's your number 2? I gotta know. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Hysteria.
Okay.
Uh, this thing was just packed full of everything I love. Yeah, and it was different because the sound had switched some. The drum sound, of course, was different. They went for a more polished up. I hate don't pour sugar on me though. That's the only song I really don't like. I just never did like that song.
Really?
It was just too cheesy for me. But the title track was great. I like Rocket a lot. I mean, and Armageddon it. Even though it's a little bit on the happy-go-lucky side, I liked Armageddon it a lot. Women, Animal, all that. But the title track is the bomb. It's just that was one I really liked. It's just had everything about it. It was soft, but then it had the backbeat of that song was killing. The bass and the drums, that whole part where he's doing the hysteria part, it's like bum 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 bum.
Yeah.
It's just badass. And yeah, so it's like it was a masterful album, and I still love it. I pop it on every so often. Just I'm skating around. Def Leppard comes on. I try to limit it to the first few albums. Yeah. So it's number 2. It is number 2 for me.
Okay. So now we
All
are
right.
to our number one Def Leppard album
Yeah. The
of the
mystery
fucking
is gone. The
tw-
mystery's gone.
yep. Uh Pyromania for me, it was my first fucking rock album outside of AC/DC. So when it came out, that was the one I wanted. Uh I had that fucker on cassette, and Jesus Christ, I every fucking song on this one, like you said, Billy's Got a Gun, Die Hard the Hunter is fucking
Right.
excellent. Everybody knows the Foolin', Rock of Ages, Photograph, Rock Rock Till You Drop is a good way to
Yeah,
open the album. Stage
that was a good
Fright,
song.
Too Late for Love. I mean, the whole fucking Action Not Words is actually fucking cool too.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a good album.
So
That's a good song.
if you ignore the hits, all the deep cuts on this fucker are just phenomenal. For me,
Yeah,
it's like, goddamn boys. After High and Dry, it was like, bam. It was. That's all I can fucking say. And for me, it was like, that was my junior high into high school fucking album. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
traded
That's
it.
good.
I traded it for a fucking Shout at the Devil cassette. I did trade it
Yes.
because
Well,
I was getting into Motley Crue at the time. So I was like,
right,
oh
right.
yeah, well I've heard this enough. I hear it all the time on the radio. Here, I'll trade that because I wanted a copy of fucking Shout the Devil. So
Yeah,
but for me, that was it had a lot of meaning too. So there you go.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
my
there's
number
all
one.
that. It's probably a number one on a lot of people's lists. It really is because, like you said, there's no misses. It's
No,
all filler. I think Hysteria is the same way. As far as I don't think there's a bad song on it, even though I don't like Pour Sugar on Me. It's just in my personal opinion, but it's not a horrible song. Same with Pyromania. You can't even describe a song and say it's bad. Even
no.
like I didn't care. The only thing I didn't like about Pyromania, to be honest, is that little fancy beginning of the album. The ding ding ding. It wasn't even
Oh, okay, okay,
you know just that sound like an organ instead of a fucking circus or something to me.
okay,
But that was just it's a minuscule thing. But number one for me is High and Dry,
okay.
just because you kind of said it. You kind of wrapped it up a little bit when you were talking about it. A solid rock album, and that's what I love. Is it wasn't overproduced.
No.
There wasn't any real flares and frills to it. It was just, we're a bunch of guys from England. We're going to punch you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
And when we want to calm down and be sentimental, like Bringing on the Heartbreak, I mean, awesome song, but then it kicks you into with that bass is coming and you hear the guitars and switch 625. It's like, oh my god! But yeah, the title track's great. Lady Strange is one of my favorites. I
Nice.
mean,
Yeah.
I really liked Lady Strange a lot. You could take the top three on my list any given day. I could rotate them. It really is. That's how close it was for these three.
Yeah.
I mean, Pyromania had more of the hits, the more clean sound of Hysteria, and the fuck you rock and roll album that's High and Dry. It was just Let It Go and High and Dry itself, especially High and Dry. It's just that guitar riff is
Yeah.
just so nasty. It's
It,
just so nasty, man. And it's like, for back then, that was like impressive for me. It's like, holy crap,
yeah.
that's some sleazy but not sleaze metal. It's
Yeah.
like tight, young, youthful, just rock and roll, like AC/DC. If they were at that time, it was like an AC/DC I liked
Yeah.
because I came to the table way later on AC/DC, but those guys were the original like AC/DC type for me,
Yeah.
just straight up in your face. Kiss was my big band at one time. These are like Kiss with talent. Every song was a banger, but they had more talent than Kiss would ever have. And no fanfare, no
Yeah.
other than the British flag shirt, really no frills of any kind. So, yeah, interchangeable, but High and Dry was my number one for 20th century Def Leppard.
Yeah. Uh, those guys, just real quick, in the fucking 80s, they knew what they wanted. They went out and got it. And you could see how they progressed as a band through the fucking albums in the 20th century. You really could.
Yeah,
You could see
yeah,
them, and even though after the 20th century they were established and kind of did what they wanted, and they were still going for hits, but it was just a lot of it was the ballad stuff.
yeah,
So for me, that's where they kind of lost that muscle, was trying to do the hit songs and not really trying to fucking get in there, and they didn't want it anymore because they already had it. They didn't need to prove anything. So
yeah. I think maybe they were just. I understand you're getting older. Not everybody
yeah,
can keep
I get
that motor up in your 60s and 70s, but no disrespect for what they're doing in the 21st century, but I mean, it's just not for me. It's like what they're accomplishing in the 21st century on their fan base is probably still there. They
yes,
probably still have a loyal collective of people that are still huge. I mean, they just did a damn stadium arena tour last year before, whatever.
yeah,
They're still commanding enough attention to do that.
yeah,
But man, I don't think you're going to get better than especially the '80s Def Leppard, but even the '90s was pretty damn good.
yeah,
But yeah, no disrespect to them at all. Just our favorite part of Def Leppard's history is the 20th century. And High and Dry, Pyromania, Hysteria, take your choice.
yeah,
Any of those could be your favorite album of Def Leppard. Hell, a lot of people's it could be Adrenalize. It could be On Through the Night.
yep,
But I'm saying probably 90% of guys like me and you can take those three albums I talked about and rotate them
yeah,
and just say, oh man, I shouldn't have had them number one. This is number one. Now, the next day, it's going to be that's number one.
yeah.
So, yeah, get you out and go listen to some good classic Def Leppard. It's a party,
Definitely,
man. It puts you in a good mood. It really does.
definitely.
It just makes you happy. If you're a Gen X old guy like me, it does, especially. So,
All right, Mikey. I think we can wrap up the Def Leppard for this week.
yeah, it's been fun. Been a fun week listening to Def Leppard. I enjoyed every minute of it. Get out there and do the same.
Awesome. All right, this is Skeet.
Notion, Mikey.
See ya.
Peace out.